Okay, so it's 3:45 on Thursday, September 26th. It's like a 6% waning moon tonight with sun. Good movement time right around witching hour before sunset, so it should be a good night for movement at least. It's gotten a little bit cooler the last 2 nights here in Nebraska, and I just took a gamble and came out to actually a public piece on the river that I've never been to at all. So I'm just kind of spent the day looking at Google Earth maps and trying to pick out like a good spot with the wind, strong south wind. I'm on the north side of the river. I'll kind of show you in a minute here, but I found what I hope is a good spot with like a bunch of oak trees around here. There's also a lot of berries. There's a lot of game trail. I'll show you in just a minute. Brought the backcountry, the extend backcountry out here, and got myself up in the tree in about a half hour. It's a decent spot. Got a good south wind. It's gonna blow me out this way. I'll show you. So behind my tree stand, the river's gonna be to the north. And down here just a ways. Saw this game trail through an opening. Lots of berry plants. Looks like there's a few beds even. And up over that hedgerow there, that's a bean field that's not cut. Obviously it's pretty early. Private boundaries right there in front of that hedgerow. So I'm really hoping I'm going to get them bedding by the river during the day. It looked like a real good spot for deer to be bedding during the day, and catch them cruising through here on some of these game trails, going to the beans, or at sunset hopefully catch them moving even closer to the beans if they are bedding close to here. You can kind of see around the rest of the way. There's some good trails under my stand, and even if I reach back here, I can see a couple openings behind me, but I'm pretty well sheltered behind where they won't see me, hopefully. That thermocell's saving my life. These September evening mosquitoes on the riverbed. But hopefully, I check back in with at least some deer footage tonight. It's more like a scouting hunt. I'm not really pushing, not gonna push that private piece until mid-October or later, closer to the rut. Got my stands in there, kind of know what I want to do in there. I don't want to put too much pressure on it. So I'm just kind of scout hunting these public pieces along the river and just see. Well, it's getting really close to that witching hour. It's the 5:45 maybe, which would mean it's sunset 7:40, so we're in that last hour tonight. It's turning out a pretty nice night at least. Got my #1 tree stand snack here, Sour Patch Kids. And just show you here the wind check. I had been watching hunt stand today for what the wind was going to be doing, and it's actually worked out quite nicely. Because if you can see the powder, it's drifting out to this back side here, where that's kind of what I was looking for. So in front of me here, where I thought they would be traveling through a little bit less resistance to get out there, and I'll have my scent drifting down and out that way. I'm hoping they're coming through here and out toward that field. Check back in if we get anything. Got some deer movement in the distance there. Doe just came off of that field, but she's headed definitely away from where I'm at. So I don't know if they're on the field. She just came from the field there and went into that tree back there on private. So, we'll just see if they show themselves out here where I can get a shot or not. But at least we were able to see 8 here. I'll leave the camera right there for now.
also I'm wondering if there's not more deer out there. Really wish I had been able to set up exactly where I wanted to. I just couldn't find a tree to get into. But I would have a clear view to look right and film these deer, but I would not be able to shoot. They're just across the private boundary. But once again, I'm just really happy to be seeing deer again. Maybe we'll still get lucky tonight. We'll get a shooter to pop out somewhere. That yearling is certainly focused on something in the field. Unfortunately, I've got a wall of trees, just very small windows to look through. Okay, now that doe has made its way back to the field edge with the yearling. Hopefully I'm able to get this in camera. That's about 90 yards from me, I'd say. I can rangefinder out here. Yeah, it says 99 yards, but distance isn't an issue because they're still on private property. Just really like to catch a glimpse and see some horns here. Thankfully, I'm sitting right for the wind, as they are to my northwest. The wind is blowing out of the south. It's even maybe slightly from the southwest. So it's moving my scent off to the north and east, while those deer are to my north and west. When I was looking at the map, I figured there's a good chance that deer would be feeding on this back corner of beans. They're not actually feeding on the beans, they're feeding on some berries around the field edge, it looks like. However, they are located in this back corner, as I kind of thought they might be. Well, they both just abruptly skirted off there. So we'll see now if something else is in that field that bumped them off, or if that's all we're going to see for the night. You never know out here.
Okay, well, alright, so got out of there safe. It's always a adventure at night. Getting out of the tree safe and then hiking out on public property, bow hunting by yourself is always a bit of a, I would say, fright. I'm not afraid to say that's kind of terrifying, but it's a necessary evil, I guess. Either hiking in the dark or hiking out in the dark, either way. If you guys remember on my unboxing, we had this hybrid light hat clip. Man, that thing is sweet as far as the amount of light it puts off. Especially working on getting the tree stand out, putting it on that green light. Not too bright to where it really messes with your eyes, reflecting off of the tree right in front of your face, etc. But that green light's really nice and soft, but still illuminates a big field. And then I also carry a tactile light, which obviously gives me a very bright spotlight as I'm walking if I need it. I used to hunt a lot in western Nebraska, and just in the habit of scanning for mountain lion eyes, so I don't think I'll ever get over that in the back of your mind. But as far as the hunt tonight, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, it's a good hunt. New public piece for me. It went pretty well. I was able to actually identify on the map a good tree area. I ended up seeing 3 total deer in that same spot coming off the field into that tree line, which is very close to where I wanted to put a tree stand. I just couldn't find a tree that would work. So that's kind of promising, getting to know that. And I also think I'm learning that it seems like these deer are actually maybe bedding out in the beans and then getting up and moving into the cut are into the first cut of trees and feeding on seasonal available foods, and then maybe saving the bean fields, whatever, for the leftover hard times in the winter. But it does seem like they're actually bedding out on the field or on the skirt of the field. And that's 2 hunts now where I've been lucky to see deer, but both hunts it seems like they were actually in the beans and coming out in the evening hour. But I'm pumped. That's 2 hunts. I've seen deer both times. I hope that as we get to this more serious time of mid-October, a month from now, late October, we can actually start to get on some good deer. And I guess I'll check back probably, I'm guessing it'll be a week or 2 before we get out and give it a shot again. All right, thanks for checking in.